So most sellers, they think that their house is sitting on the market because of price. And it's almost never just the price. Buyers, they're not lowballing you. They're actually walking out and never coming back. And I've supported hundreds of families through selling their homes, and I keep seeing the same pattern. The things that kill your sale aren't the big ticket items. They're the things that buyers can't unsee. And I'm going to walk you through what I mean. And we're going to go through our process. Life first, wealth second, real estate third, and then we talk to the right professionals along the way to make those confident decisions. And here's the question that I just got, and I'm going to read it to you. Weldon, we've outgrown our house. We have 2 kids, 1 on the way, and we're tripping over each other. We put it on the market 3 weeks ago, and we had a few showings, but no offers. Our agent says the feedback is that the buyers feel like the house is too personal and smaller than expected. We updated the kitchen 2 years ago, and I know it's not the condition of the home. What are we missing? That's great. Listen to that feedback. Too personal, smaller than expected. The buyers are telling you exactly what's wrong, and it's not your kitchen. It's not your price. It's what's in the house. And here's the thing that took me a while to learn. Sometimes the stuff that makes it feel like your home is the exact stuff keeping it from becoming their home. Because the buyers, they have choices. And when something feels off, they don't negotiate. They just leave. You never even get to the deal. The opportunity is gone. So today we're going to walk through the things that kill your sale before it ever even starts, whenever that opportunity just leaves. And we're going to organize it in a way that I think about every transition. Your life first. What is that goal? Then your wealth, the financial exposure. How do you reduce that? And then we're going to focus on the real estate. So almost every one of these fixes, it's free. You just have to know what to look for, and then most importantly, just do it. First, it's going to be the one I feel strongest about, and that's children's names should never be displayed anywhere in your home during the showings, right? Those cute name decals over the crib, the artwork with your kid's name on the bedroom wall, the little wooden letters spelling out their names on the door. I know you love them. I love them. I love seeing them. But remember, listing photos, they get shared widely online. They live on Zillow, Realtor.com, social media, and the last thing you want is for someone to connect your child's name with your address. It's just a safety precaution at the end of the day. Who knows, the likelihood of something happening is low, but at the end of the day, we can never take too many precautions these days. So it takes 5 minutes to take them down, protects your kids, and this one, it's not even about selling houses. All right, next. We're going to talk about the valuables too. So medications, firearms, they need to be out of sight before your first showing. Seems obvious, but the obvious these days is not always obvious. I know it feels like common sense again, but I'm constantly surprised by what I see left out. So expensive jewelry on the nightstand, prescription bottles on the bathroom counter, a display case in the living room. If you have controlled substances, take them with you. Don't leave it to chance. If you're a gun owner and you have a safe in a closet, throw a blanket over it. If you have a display case, cover it, move it, do something. And I say this for 2 reasons. You're advertising what you own to anyone who sees it in your listing photos, and some buyers are sensitive to firearms, right? So we're trying to appeal to the biggest market that we can. And if it's a simple cover up, then it's probably worth doing. Now, whether you agree with that or not, if it turns off one potential buyer, it's working against you. So then I say it's better safe than sorry, and just pack it up. Now this next one, it's a tough one, and this is uncomfortable to hear too for a lot of folks, but it matters. You and your pets need to not be there during showings. It's your home, yes, I get it. But the moment a buyer walks in and you're sitting on the couch, that mood, it changes. They can't open closets. They can't talk freely with their agent. And by the way, you probably shouldn't do that anyway because cameras are everywhere these days. But neither here nor there, it still changes the mood. They're tiptoeing through your space instead of imagining their life there. That's what it's all about. And the pets, even the friendliest dog in the world, not everyone is comfortable around them. And if the dog is barking or jumping, that's terrible because now the buyer is focused on the dog and they're not able to think and concentrate. They're certainly not thinking about your floor plan. They're thinking about leaving. The move is simple. When a showing is scheduled, Grab the leash and take a walk. If security is a concern, ask your listing agent to be there. That's completely normal. Give buyers the space to fall in love with the house because they can't do that when you're watching them. Y'all, we know this. Life transitions, they fall apart without the right plan or the right professionals in your corner guiding you. And if you have something big coming up, book a free call. The link is in the caption below. And I'm going to help you get clarity on your life goals, your finances, and your real estate if that's involved. Because once we understand that, that's what sets it all up for success. We start mapping it out. And then we find out the resources where the limitations are and then connect you to those right professionals. And if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, click that subscribe link and more content like this coming at you all the time. Now let's talk about the things that don't just turn buyers off. They actually cost you money in negotiations or they put you at financial risk. And this is the part that most sellers skip, and it's where I see the biggest regrets. Broken items, unfinished projects, those are negotiation grenades. And I'm talking about the ceiling fan where the light doesn't work, the wine fridge that came with the house and never turned on, the fixture that you've been meaning to replace for the last 3 years. Every one of those items, they end up on a home inspection report. And even if you disclose it up front, when they sit down with a list of 10 problems instead of 5, it feels overwhelming. That's when that's when they get expensive. And I've watched small, cheap fixes, they snowball into thousands of dollars in credits because the repair list, it got long enough just to scare buyers. Fix what you can, replace what you can't. And if there's something that you want to take with you, like a family heirloom, a light fixture, take it down now and put something neutral in its place. Don't let the buyer fall in love with something that isn't staying. And this next one, it's actually personal because I watched it happen to one of my listings. DIY work that looks DIY. That is going to kill your sale faster than almost anything on this list. I had a nice listing, nice neighborhood, nice home, good bones. The sellers, they had finished the basement themselves. They did the right thing. They pulled the permits. They went through the process. Everything was above board. But when buyers walked through, the flooring didn't quite reach underneath the baseboards. The wet bar, it looked like it had been placed in the corner instead of built into the room. The frosted glass, that looked like a choice from 15, 20, probably the 90s, 20 plus years ago now, right? None of it was a code issue. All of it was a perception issue. And in a market where they have choices, they chose not to deal with it. They didn't even lowball us. They decided, I'm not going to negotiate. I'm going to go find the next house. That listing expired. They didn't listen to the guidance, and fair enough, that's the reality. We all have limitations, but that's what happened. And here's the wealth connection. This one is important. The sellers, they spent real money finishing that basement. They added square footage. They did the work, but because the execution didn't match what today's buyers expect, they didn't get credit for any of it. The investment didn't come back. So if you've got DIY projects in your home, look at them with fresh eyes. Not, did I do this right? And do the old, hey, am I in the ballpark? That doesn't work in this case. Does it look like a professional did it? Because buyers, they can't tell the difference between unpermitted work and permitted work that looks rough. They just see risk. And risk, that makes them walk. Now, stay with me, because this last group, this is where I see sellers lose buyers in the first 30 seconds of a showing. And most of them, they have no idea that it's happening. This is the stuff that makes or breaks the buyer's first impression, both online and in person. And remember, the buyer's first showing isn't when they walk through your door. It's when they see your listing photos on their phone. Personal items and paperwork scattered around the house, that needs to go. Mail on the counter, bills on the desk, documents on the dining room table. Buyers aren't going to rifle through your stuff, most likely. But if it's out in the open and they've got wandering eyes, that's none of their business, one. And two, beyond the privacy issue, it creates visual clutter. I'm also talking about anything that's a strong personal statement, polarizing art, fandom collections, anything that might rub someone the wrong way in a listing photo or when they walk through. Not because there's anything wrong with what you love, because there's not, but because you want as many buyers coming through that door as possible. And you don't want someone scrolling past your listing because of a photo of something that was in there. You're moving anyway, pack it up. Wall-to-wall family photos make it your home instead of their home. A couple family photos are fine, keeps the house feeling warm, I get it. But whenever every wall, every shelf, every surface that has someone else's stuff on it, buyers can't see themselves living there. And they're walking through your memories instead of imagining their own. We're trying to keep that feeling throughout the house. So pare it back. Keep a few, swap the rest out for something neutral. You're going to pack them up anyway eventually. So do it now and let your house just do its job. Be there and let it be that blank canvas that somebody else can paint their mental picture on. And then there's the other part of this, which is too much furniture. That makes the rooms feel small. And this one builds up over time and you stop noticing it. So a chair from a relative's house here, an extra bookshelf there, a reading nook that turned into a storage corner. And before you know it, it's a living room with beautiful features, feels like a furniture warehouse. And here's the test. Can a buyer walk through each room and immediately see the best feature? The fireplace, the windows, the built-ins. If furniture is blocking sight lines and making walkways tight, something has to go. And here's where this connects to the bigger picture. Every day that your home is on the market is a day that delays your next chapter. Getting this stuff out now, it's not just staging, it's getting your life to move forward. Heavy, dark, outdated window treatments, those are silent killers. Buyers want light, bright rooms. It makes it feel bigger. They want it clean. They want it more welcoming. And if your curtains have been there for 15 years and the room feels like a cave, that is not inviting. So here's two options that I would recommend. Replace them with something light and neutral, or take them down entirely. Natural light, because I have my wife here, I hear from my wife all the time. She loves it. There cannot be too much of it. Natural light through exposed windows, that beats heavy curtains every single day, or just closed curtains in general, according to my wife. But neither here nor there, that's a personal thing. This one is one of the cheapest changes that I would recommend, because you can just take them down and it has significant impact. The other piece here, cluttered countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms. This sounds like small stuff, but it makes a massive impression. Look at your kitchen counters right now. How many appliances are sitting out that you don't use daily? How many random items have accumulated because it was easier just to leave it there? The goal is to showcase your countertops, not hide them. Show that it has space. Pare down to the essentials. Same thing in the bathroom. All those products on the vanity, they need to go into a tote under the cabinet. Pull it out after each showing. Yes, it's inconvenient, but selling your house, that is inconvenient. But you're trying to get top dollar for it and you want to get under contract as fast as possible. And the showings, they're a pain, but the details matter. Now moving to the next one. Hunting trophies and taxidermy. If you're a hunter and you've got a 12-point buck on the living room wall, I respect that. I do. But not everyone shares your same enthusiasm, and those trophies, they are usually big. They make rooms feel smaller, which is the opposite of what you want. Take them down. If they're too large to store, get them into the garage. Put it in the basement, at least until you close. Here's a bonus, and I know this one's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Think twice about open houses. So a serious buyer who is pre-approved, that they're going to schedule a private showing. That's how it works now. The people who come through an open house, many of them are neighbors, casual browsers, and people who haven't been pre-qualified. And think about everything I just walked you through. Your medications, your valuables, your children's information. You're opening all that to anyone who walks through the door with no screening. And I'm going to be direct with you. One of the main reasons that open houses still happen, it's actually lead generation for the agent. Now, it's also, I want to be respectful here, because I still do them occasionally whenever it's needed. It shows proactiveness, and you never know, right? It's an opportunity for whenever you put an open house on Zillow, it gives notifications to anyone that has hearted that home. It could still happen. That's what I'm trying to say. You could still get a buyer. So I'm not trying to knock it altogether. Just know the risks at the end of the day. That's not a criticism. It's how the business works. And you deserve to know that before you agree to having an open house. Are there situations where it makes sense? Absolutely. If you work from home and you need to condense showings, or if individual appointments, they're not practical. But you go in with your eyes open and make sure your agent, your real estate professional, they have a plan to screen visitors and protect your home. Now let me bring this back to our viewer, the question that we got earlier. They said that buyers thought the house felt too personal and smaller than expected. Now you can hear exactly what that means. It's not one thing, it's actually layers. And every layer makes buyers a little less likely to make an offer until eventually they just move on to the next one. The good news though is that almost everything on the list that we just went through, it's free. It just takes awareness and a little bit of effort. And sometimes it takes someone walking through your house with fresh eyes, not your eyes, not your family's eyes, and telling you what buyers are actually seeing. That's what a good real estate professional does. That's what a good transition strategist does. We help you see what you're not seeing, so that way your house, it can do its job. If you've got a big transition coming out, let's figure it out together. Click the link in the description and let's set your transition up for success. Get clarity on those life goals, your finances, and then we'll connect you with the right professionals if you need it. That way you can make these decisions confidently and move on to that next chapter, to that next life goal. We're all human beings going through real transitions, real emotions, and there's no substitute for someone who's actually been there before. And then they can help you see what you're not seeing. We help connect you with the right person, the right time, the right place. I'm Weldon Hobbs, and when we're making big decisions, we start with your life goal. We optimize it for wealth, and then we focus on the real estate. Remember, good decisions, they start with good information, and I'll see you in the next one.